Hey there, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising. Welcome. Welcome to your reading. We're going to look at the next 3 months for you. I'm doing this because we'll be taking a little bit of a break, and I didn't want to leave you without the information. So I will continue to be on Facebook, but I'm going to take a couple months off. I need a break. So we're going to look at November, December, January. There's some interesting things that are going on with November. We've already had the eclipse that walked us into this energy, but there is Mars is going to reset. So Mars is going to reset for like the next 2.5 years or so. Last time it reset, it was in your sign, and now it's going to reset in Scorpio. And so energy around what are you passionate about? What fires you up? What that going in and discovering new things about yourself. These kinds of things are going to come to the forefront for you over the next 2.5 years or so. And then we have a Mercury stationing retrograde during December. So it goes into shadow at the end of November and doesn't clear its shadow until late into January. And so that is between Capricorn energy and Sagittarius energy. So there is a little bit of a delay always with that energy bit. So the because it's that energy, it's about how do we take action on things that we want to build and create for ourselves. So you are my first reading of the day. It's still dark out. I gotta make a little adjustment there so you can see all the cards and not cut my head off, as I hate that. Okay, so and then the really interesting thing that to me that's happening in January is that finally all of the planets will be moving forward. Uranus is the last one there on the 26th of January to station direct, and so at that point all of the planets will be moving forward for a few months, and so I think a lot of activity picks up, and that comes hot off the heels of a full moon in Leo. And so as I say that, Leo comes flying out. So let's take a look at, we're going to break down November, December, January, thoughts, feelings, actions, or suggested actions to take in order to use this and what you're likely going to be feeling and working with. So in your head, up in your head, you are in the energy here of, wow, the Ace of Swords. There you are showing up. So this Ace of Swords is interesting. It is the information that's actually coming to you in your dream time. Look at that. So it's almost as though overnight you are learning, you are growing, you are gaining information. And as you take that information into your waking hours, how do you use that, right? How do you use that to determine what your next steps are? And so we have here the card of present power. So this is you standing in your power, right? Couple of things. So the lion is about courage and strength, but the tiger kind of feels like earning your stripes, right? There's it also so tigers are interesting as a cat goes because they like to swim in the water, and it almost feels like it's like using your emotional energy to navigate some of this stuff and seeing that not everything is just one way. It's almost like willingness to go a little bit into the shadows, right? It's got the black and the white, but it also has this orange solar plexus energy, really allowing yourself to shine out there. I have to check to see because I wasn't paying attention when I pulled that card out, and I don't know if I'm supposed to read it in the upright. Okay, yeah, in the upright. All right, so look at how shiny this is. So this is the heart space energy. So there is something about your emotional energy that is really super fascinating here because you have an air signs all the way through here. So this is connecting into the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are, you're going to know what that is though through the heart space, because look at all that pink there of self-love. And again, the gold sparkliness there, and it's called taking steps. And so it's moving towards your goal. Look at that big, beautiful goal that you have going on there. And there is a path, and it's almost as though there's steps though that lead up to get to the path. I've never noticed that before. You got to walk up these steps that are here. It's called taking steps. I should have seen it before. All right, so you're moving up these steps. So what steps do you have to take? But you begin to see the path ahead of you, and so it's in your thoughts. You're in your thoughts, but these I feel like it's the early morning thoughts. You wake up and you may not remember your dreams. I do, but not everybody remembers their dreams. That's cool. That's fine. But you're that first morning thoughts. Those are the things to focus in on. Because those are coming fresh out of your dream world. Whether or not you remember your dreams doesn't really matter. Your brain will be utilizing that information because we have all these books floating around. So there's knowledge and information coming in. And then in the heart space, we have the mother of air. And she is standing, so that's like the queen of swords, right? And she is standing above, well, actually, it might be like the king of swords in this deck. No, it's the mother. They have the wise one. Okay, so she is, again, up in the clouds surrounded by books. So this is information that is coming through to you in your overnight hours, in your meditations, in your quiet times. It comes through if you go for a walk. It's during periods of rest. So when you're doing something, it might be when you're washing dishes, right? When you're doing something, taking a shower, washing dishes, vacuuming, something that's just like, it's just so routine, you're not actually thinking about the action that you're taking, and the mind is free to rest and run, right? And to pick up stuff. That buzzing that you're getting in your ear lately, there's a lot of attunements coming through, a lot of downloads, and if you just pause for a moment when it comes through and recognize that you are being attuned to this new energy, and just, I want to say acknowledge it. There we go. Thank you. Acknowledge it. Okay, so here you have, I am safe and loved no matter where I am. The voyage. So there is a voyage of the heart. There's a lot of information that seems to be coming through your heart space that's going to help you to decide and discern what your path forward is. Those of you who are waking up in the middle of the night and you're struggling to go back to sleep, we have all of this stuff on your mind, right? There's so much on your mind, and here we have the 9 of swords, 9 of air. It's all these little thoughts up in the tree of life. But look how twisted the trunk is. And so a technique that I have started using lately is when I wake up, and you can tell, right, like you're starting to become a little too alert, I just say, angels asleep, please help me go back to sleep. And generally I fall right back to sleep. And you may think that's a little silly, and you may not be sure you want to do it, and you may not be sure you believe it. But give it a shot with an open heart and see what happens. I really invite you to use that as a way to navigate. The other thing you can do is, if you really can't get back to sleep, read a book. Journal. A lot of times getting my thoughts off of my mind and onto paper will allow me to go back to sleep, particularly when I'm going through a turbulent transitional time in my life. It's not always easy, right? So I decide to use that time productively. But the light, don't use your phone, don't use the computer. Use a yellow light, because blue light wakes your brain up, and then you have to reset. And so it's hard to go back to sleep. So that's why a lamp with a yellow light will help you to sleep. You have the outer core fluidity. This card has shown up so many times. You're only the 5th sign I've done. I think it's the 3rd time I've seen her. This twisting with this fluidity. She is boldly stepping out of the water. She is naked and confident. So the waves are crashing on the shore. That's like emotional energy that's crashing to the shore, which might be what's got your thoughts all twisted. And her willingness to step out of the rough waters and to move forward with confidence, you are an initiating sign. Venus is in your sign right now, and this really reminds me of Venus. Venus is not in your sign for very long, but she is there long enough to give you an assist right now. I'm going to check and see what Venus is doing because that might help you. She is there in November, and Venus is about relationship balance, confidence, what is of value to you. She is in your sign from November 9th through, or maybe the 8th. It's early, I can't hardly read. She's there until December 6th or 5th. So she's there for the rest of November. So Venus rules your sign. I feel like she is offering you the opportunity to set course, to take steps, to move in a new direction, and to really step into your power. Venus spent a lot of time in Leo this summer, right? Learning how to step back into her power, present power. And so where you want to go, what you want to do next in your life, what steps you want to take next, move with confidence. I don't want to say fake it till you make it. That's not what I want to say here. I almost believe that it is, be confident that you deserve the change that you're trying to make and move that way. With confidence toward the change, toward the goal, taking steps. So taking steps is just one step at a time. She's not running, she's walking up. But look how all these orbs here, she is so divinely guided on this. I feel like you're very divinely guided, and a lot of information is coming to you during your overnight hours. And so when we get to December and Venus moves into Scorpio, she doesn't like to be there. The need to be really in your power is going to be very helpful. So you have a new beginning that you're thinking about, because here we have the card of the Fool. Have every light on in the house, and it's still weird lighting here. Let's see here. Here we go. Little chick on a branch, getting ready to take flight. It is a leap of faith. When that little bird jumps off that, look, he's got 1 foot off already. When he steps off that, when he steps off that branch, he doesn't know how to fly. He's going to figure it out on his way down. And so this isn't about knowing how to do what you're going to do. It's about having the courage to do what you're going to do. Oh my God, we have the card of new beginnings. We have the card of family, but this family card is a move, right? So something is some kind of a transition within the family. A reorganizing of the family dynamics in some ways, but there's a new beginning. For some of you, you may be getting into a new relationship, because we have that Mars that just reset in that area of passion. And if you are a Libra rising, that is in your second house too, of finances, of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. It's ruled by Venus. The second house is. Really interesting. Look, here you have the Mother of Air, and here you have the Mother of Wands. So you have the Queen of Wands here in the heart space. It's a creative energy, and here we have, in the action to take, we have the Page of Wands. So December looks like to be filled with a lot of action, a new beginning. And so here, this was, maybe you were a little uncertain, but stepping boldly into this new arena looks really promising and exciting and interesting. You have the Queen of Wands coming up in January also. So the Queen of Wands says, I can create, I can manifest from seemingly nothing. Seemingly nothing, right? There's not much. And so what creates there is the passion. That's what creates. Is the passion that you feel for something that you want to do. In some way, it does seem like it's going to affect the family dynamics. But, and again, it could be a relationship. We have day and night. She's got the sun and the moon. So, Libra, we just came off of that eclipse in your sign, that new moon solar eclipse. It was the ring of fire. It was the ring of fire. Look at all this fire that showed up here. And so that's why they were talking to me about the buzzing. I was wondering, because usually they only talk about that when they start buzzing my ears, but they just talked about it. Okay, so during that eclipse, when the moon was in front of the sun, the moon was so far away from the earth that it didn't, by perspective, it didn't cover up the sun, right? When it's closer to us, it seems to cover up more. When it's further away, it doesn't cover up as much, right? So that allowed a lot of energy to flow around the moon and come in a very directed way onto the earth. And so those were the upgrades, the things that were happening in Libra. You were totally involved with that because the sun was in your sign, as was the moon. And so all this energy was coming in, and I think that there's a little bit of a little integration period here, and it's coming through in thoughts and in your dreams, and then how do I use this stuff? And then I think in December, when we have the sun move into the fiery energy, an optimistic energy of Sagittarius, you are air feeds fire. Right? And so there's almost like someone striking the match, right? And it's time to go. And you've got these things going on. So you have this energy of the day and the night. This is also the shadow and the light, but look at the way it looks. It seems like you're coming out of the darkness into the light. We have this wintry one here. This is my dear friend. I'm actually going to read what these say because I find them very interesting collaboration together. And then we have weaving flowers. And so it's putting things together. The weaving of flowers feels like it's really putting things together. My dear friend, feels like your spirit's got your back or actually carrying you forward in a way. Lifelong friendships, dependability, and solidarity. The woman and the deer. Okay, so this is a more mature energy, right? This is that Queen of Wands energy, because there's another one in here. It's called The Journey, where we have a fawn and a small child. And here we have a woman and a very mature, looks like a reindeer actually there. Okay, so time has passed and you are still companions. So it's somebody that you've been friends with for a long time, and they have seen seasons together. The deer supports her. I feel like it's your spirit guide team. Okay, so it could be that you get an assist, or it's somebody that you've known for a long time, and the relationship takes a new level, a new turn here. It could totally be that. It could be that someone you've known for a long time steps up and helps you with a new project that you're beginning. But at the same time, it's also your spirit guide team working with you. They're totally all over this situation here. You see all these orbs and support from them, right? So there's that going on. And then let's look at this weaving of flowers. It's number 33. That is the Empress kind of energy. That is Christed light energy. She draws from the petals falling from the sky and growing from the earth. Inspiration. So it's about inspiration. So it's inspiration, gather it up and create a new whole. Libra, what the heck are you up to? Because it looks so interesting. Really interesting. I think December is going to be a very incredibly strong highlight, high point. I think you finished the year very strong. So there are decisions to be made. Follow your instincts. That's what the day and the night says. It talks about the uncertainty, the worries, the fears. I think you deal with a lot of that coming in from November, but in December, it's time to trust your spirit guide team and step forward onto your path and use your inspiration to move forward. You are a more mature energy, and you're working with more mature energies. And so let's just say, for instance, you got married really young and it didn't work out, and you have been afraid to step back into that kind of energy. But now you're dealing with people who are more mature. You're more mature. They're more mature in age and experience. So it might be an opportunity to do something like that. It could be that when you were younger, you started a certain career or a business and it really didn't work out for you. And now you're like, yeah, but now I know more. I have more skills. I'm more confident in myself. I'm more willing to make this choice, this change in my life. And so I feel like not just a season of your life has passed, but seasons of your life has passed, because it was a fawn. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 antlers on this deer. That's a lot of seasons that have passed, right? Probably 16, because I don't think they do odd numbers. So 8 cycles. A Venus cycle. She's 8 years. So it could have been an 8-year cycle. That really resonates in my space here. Okay, so here we go. This Page of Wands. I surrendered joyously to the ebbing and the flowing of life. It is the letting go. It is the 8-year lunar cycle. Consider for a moment what something that was going on in your life 8 years ago and where you're at now on that area. Okay, so that could be one thing. But it's also an opportunity. It's not letting go of something. It's letting go of the fear and taking a risk on yourself. Being willing to let go of the branch and learn how to fly on the way down. There's a lot of courage, right? Present your power. Step in your power here. Oh my God, I love your reading so much. This is super exciting. And then here you are. You're showing up for yourself in your thoughts in January. It is a card of justice. And so this woman is sitting here at the end of the long day, stepping out of her high heels and rubbing her feet. It feels like after you put in the work, there's also, you need to create space for rest. So whatever is going on here, there's a balancing of the energies, the give and the take. You know, there's a need to be, also I'm getting grounded out of that. A need to be grounded, right? When you're in your heels, only your toes are on the ground, really. But then there's the need to take your shoes off at the end of the day, and to help to bring the circulation all the way through your feet and to ground and to be fully connected. So here we have a loving heart and a message in a bottle. For some of you, this is definitely about romance. Libra always hates to hear that, I know. Okay, so but for some of you, within a relationship, there is a balancing. So this loving heart, this is connecting. There's the wisdom, again, of the owls there and how they're forming the heart and the message in a bottle. So that seems like actual contact. Email, letter, could be a phone call. Message in the bottle, though. Those messages that went out in the bottle were either, I'm really still alive out here, right? Or someone who was really heartbroken and they stuck their message in a bottle so that they could tell the sea. So for some of you, it could be a journaling opportunity. I love this. Okay. So we have a lot of sleeping, nighttime activities going on here. This one, she's sleeping during the day. She's resting. It's the Four of Chalices, but it feels like, again, messages coming through in the meditation, in the quiet, because here comes that cup that she wants, and her spirit guide is bringing it in. I think you're going to be inspired during the quiet spaces in your life, because we have the card of changes. And look, it's the same blue as that spirit guide and what she's wearing. And it's the blue of the truth, your truth. And so there's some kind of truth coming through your heart space about what it is that you want. And I think that you will be in January completing some sign of a cycle and being willing to step onto the new one. I think in December you're very inspired to do it, but I do think that Mercury in retrograde in Sagittarius is going to kind of slow things down. But in January it clears its shadow right in time for that full moon in Leo, which is going to be at 5 degrees of Leo, which is about where Venus backed up to before when she was retrograding and moving forward. I think she got back to like 8 degrees, but she was definitely connected to that energy. And so here you have the Queen of Wands with the World. I think you make the decision and you start moving forward on something really important that speaks to your heart, that allows a change in your heart. There's a maturing and there's this taking this inspiration and moving your life forward. There is a very inspired energy that comes through your heart space over the next 3 months that really stirs you awake to be able to, I want to say, pursue something new in your life that you're very passionate about. And whether it is a relationship or leveling up of a relationship or deepening of a relationship, or if it is a career move, a career change, or if it's moving to a new location, a restart, a resetting in your life. There's some kind of a truly amazing reset coming in. We have the flamingo. Authenticity, nourishment, and individuality. My beauty is unique and inspirational. There is something that you are going to be offering to the world. Some part of you that this Queen of Wands and the World card coming together is also like, this is, look how lit up she is, and in the center of this World card, all lit up. And I almost feel like whatever it is, it's some part of you that you are offering to the world, whether it is you're having a baby or creating a new relationship or creating a new business idea. There is a creative energy though. You're birthing something new into the world that is going to make a difference. And the difference could be in your community, in your family, or to the child that is created from this, if it's a family thing, or it could be the creation of when one person is lit up and they move through the world, they shine a light around them that is optimistic and lifts up the energy of those around. And so sometimes we don't even recognize the impact of what we are giving to the world just by being truly who we are. But this flamingo, the first thing about flamingos that always strikes me is they become pinker, right? The energy of that love, it's romantic love, but it's also self-love. The pink is, right? And this one's flying, which is weird because you usually only see them standing, right? So this is taking flight. But the pink comes from how much shellfish they eat. So what you ingest, what you take into your physical body matters. What you take into your emotional heart space matters, right? So it says, give yourself permission to find your own way to live. If you do not feel like you can be your authentic self, check what influences you have allowed into your mind and your life. There you go, the pink, right? The what you ingest. Do you need to change your spiritual diet in some way so that you are taking in more physical, emotional, or mental nourishment? Don't be afraid to show your true colors. When you show the real you to be seen, when you allow the real you to be seen, others will be able to recognize your beauty and grace. That is Libra, beauty and grace. Don't hide yourself or deny yourself what you need to flourish, including a wild and free heart. You have something amazing about to unfold in your life, if you will allow it. It is something that is authentic. It is true to you. It is the heart of who you are. And it is going to take your courage and your power and your strength and your determination to not hold yourself back from being who you truly are. Because when we are truly who we are, that is when we are successful. We are successful, maybe not as measured by other people's standards. But a successful life is one that is filled with joy, happiness, and creativity. So, looks like the table is laid for that. Looks like the table is laid for that. And so, it's time to taste the bounty. They're saying, taste the abundance of what the world has to offer you, but also what you have to offer to the world. Don't hide your light under the bushel anymore, Leo, Libra. It's time to shine. It's time to present your power and shine. Venus did a lot of work in Leo to get you to here. Now it's time to go. Oof. Have the courage. All right. There you go. So I'm going to take a little break from here. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell when I come back at the end of January so that you'll know when I'm going to do one more video for you before I leave. I'm going to look at 2024 as a whole. And I'm on Facebook. I'm not leaving Facebook. I'm over there every day. I go through the astrology and we pull cards for it. So come over there and check out what's going on. You guys take great care. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited for you. I'm super excited for you. Oh, all right, go get them, Libra. Talk to you soon.